Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zach, and in this video we're doing an Ecomi Omi VeVe video as usual. Currently the price is, if I can get my thing to work, there we go. The current price is 5675 on a low of 5181 and a high of 6217. We hit the 6 a day. OMG. That said, not even a price video, just very exciting to see. I was just going to go over a podcast thing that we saw with Women X VeVe featuring Reese, but before we do that, literally in the past 5 minutes, Ecomi tweeted this out. In preparation for the immutable migration, swapping between GoChain Omi and Ethereum Omi has now been disabled. All swaps that were in progress or pending fee payments have been automatically distributed. 2 out of 2. I hate Twitter when you're not signed in. It's so bad. When the migration is ready, there will be options available through the new swap site for swapping GoChain Omi and Ethereum Omi to the new Ethereum Omi contract, of course ERC20, and we will release detailed instructions on how to complete this process before the site goes live. Right. People have been freaking out in comments, especially on my videos in the past, about is it going to be really difficult? You know, are people going to be left behind with this migration to Immutable X? There is going to be, from what I understand at least, many months for us to learn how to do this so that no one gets left behind. So unless you literally gave up on this project for like a whole year, you should be fine. This is just the start, I think, of a much larger process basically. And the fact is that this is really, I think, one of the first signs of true movement that we can expect for this migration that, of course, so many of us are waiting for and expecting, right? So very exciting. People are getting very excited here, as you can see. Very good stuff. That said, this video actually isn't about that. This video is about something that Reese was speaking about, where he's talking about sort of the process of building Ecomi. Of course, Reese is the lead on sort of marketing and comms and stuff. And I think it's really interesting to hear his own take on sort of FUD and sort of, you know, where the company is going. With that said, of course, as usual, a link will be in the description to Wendy's channel where she posts these videos. Really good stuff. Thanks for posting these, of course, Wendy. That said, let's jump into this.
And I just can I just add that you guys have like tongues of steel, that you have all this information and are able to hold it. Like, that is just wild. And because you guys are the first, because you guys are like the only NFT, you know, company that has this attachment to these licenses, like, that's scary. That's a lot of pressure.
It's another reason why we have to keep quiet. Like,
the contracts, you've got to keep quiet.
Yeah, the contracts, but also, I mean, as you alluded to earlier, like, the eyeballs are on us, right? We're the only company doing this with the licenses. It's ours to lose, essentially. You know, talk my way to lose a contract is to break the non-disclosure, you know, or something too early. So we have to. Right, we have to be.
What happens when you break a contract with NDA? Depending on who you're working with, which the Ecomi is working with, Marvel, etc., you don't want to ruin that. Some companies I've noticed are pretty somewhat easygoing about that. That's a different discussion for a different day, though. Sorry, something Valorant wise that I cover. They seemingly don't care about leaks, regardless. So Ecomi have to be really careful, which is why generally we don't see any leaks whatsoever, and when we do, it's very rare.
Very tight-lipped about those things, but it feeds into the longevity of our contracts in our company as well, just to maintain that standard, you know, to set it.
Absolutely.
I was thinking, you just said that, and you as a person, what is the most challenging to just avoid the hate or the comment from people that don't understand that we have to be patient and we are early? What is the most challenging thing to do?
So essentially what I think Wendy's asking here is, how do you deal with the FUD, the hate that comes for Ecomi, which is regular?
For you as a person, not just like Reese in Ecomi.
Also, it's worth bearing in mind that Reese will bear a lot of the brunt of this because he is on the ground talking with people, right? As in, he's the marketing person. He does comms and stuff. Now, if you're a developer for Ecomi, I would guess, and please correct me if I'm wrong, if you're a developer for Ecomi and you're watching this, DM me or whatever and let me know. I will apologize, of course, if I'm wrong here, but I'd imagine that developers don't get the same brunt of hate around the token, etc., as, say, Reese will, or David, or Dan, or Trevor, or whoever. So
yeah, look, it probably is that. Managing... Yeah. There's a really fine balance. You're trying to get people excited because I know what's coming, right? And I know things on the way. And I think people have learned along this journey to trust us a little bit more. But you're trying to maintain and build that excitement without giving something away and without sort of revealing what's coming, while maintaining the expectations and belief of 500,000 people now, you know, who all have a different interest in what you're doing and different from different languages, different cultural backgrounds, different understandings of money and finance, different understandings of collectibles, let alone digital collectibles. Like there's not just parts to the business. There's so many people that feed into this groundswell. So yeah, I think managing that expectation and things is probably the most challenging. The hate and the naysayers and all of that, like eventually you just get used to it. You know, like it's hard, right? When there was 2,000 of us, when there was 2,000 people, it was very easy for me to be personal with everybody, you know, and fix the problems that people had and spend the time there. Now that there's too many, you know, I do my best, but you just can't be as personal with it. So you try to blanket explain things and hope people find that information. But the naysayers and the neg ferrets, as we call them.
The what? Wait, what do you call it?
What ferrets?
Neg ferret? Like a negative ferret?
Oh,
yeah.
Neg ferret. Oh, okay.
See, when he first said neg ferrets, I thought he was saying neg parrots, which would also add up, to be very clear.
But that's what they're called from now on. Everybody has to refer to
the neg ferret.
The neg ferret.
What is the word? I didn't understand that. What is the word?
Like a ferret?
Neg.
Yeah.
Neg is short for negative.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Eventually, you know, those voices, they can be the loudest, but they don't last long. You know, they when people stop paying them attention, they go somewhere else and do it somewhere else, right? And yeah.
Some cling on though. Some cling on for dear life.
Just to make yeah. But see, eventually those ones convert. I've found, right? If they stick around, they try to be a thorn in your side for so long, and then you eventually just tick off whatever their problem is, and then they become your support.
They find another.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
it's kind of following on from that question. Oh, sorry.
Well, sorry, Sarah. The thing is that like even though we come all from different, you know, backgrounds, they can't deny that VeVe's integrity is
exactly
high. So they can say all the, that's probably why they convert to being like VeVe lovers, because the integrity is there.
Yeah, exactly. And if, you know, that impatience, I understand it, right? I understand the frustration if you're expecting something one day and it takes a few more weeks and all of those kind of things, right? It's fair.
Part of the problem here is that, of course, we're in crypto land, which even though VeVe, I think, you know, they don't try to, obviously there's the token, but a lot of crypto projects really go hard on the crypto aspect of it. And I noticed VeVe don't. Obviously they do, but as in from a conversational, from a social point of view, it's not their selling point that their crypto is the best crypto. Their selling point is their product, right? But because we're in crypto and because crypto and NFTs have had such a sort of social bang over the past year, basically, you know, and there's so much hype as to mooning a certain token, you know, I think now, like, because when I first started covering this, it was, I think, probably worse than it is now, but I could be wrong, in that I feel like back a few months ago, people were really hoping for Omi to be one of those alt tokens that would just moon because some celebrities might pop it up or whatever. But the reality is that now I think it's becoming more, I think, common to a lot more people that this is more of a long-term play, which is really exciting to see, right? And I could be wrong. Reese will know that way better than I will as to how sort of the general sort of landscape is looking. But it's really good that Omi has, in fact, or Ecomi have built this community, and the community built itself in fairness. You know, this community is one of the strongest communities I've seen, and one of the most intelligent communities, if I'm honest, that I've seen in crypto for a long time. I haven't been in crypto for a long time, but for the stuff that I have seen relatively, it's really, really good to see these long-term players, which everyone, even in this call, right? Everyone here clearly has some level of business mindset enough to know that Omi is reliant on a business, a tech company that, as per usual, will take its time to grow. The good thing is, of course, is that it's not taking that long compared to other projects. You know, when you think about where we were at the start of this year and where we are now, I believe at the start of this year, there was like maybe 100k users. I could be totally wrong. Now it's at 500,000 and growing. It's blowing my mind. But yeah, it's awesome to see that people are starting to see this as more of a long-term strategy, because that also, I would imagine, stabilizes the token a little bit, because people aren't constantly selling and then buying erratically, you know?
But I think that frustration, yeah, it does turn into an accolade eventually when you do tick it off. And obviously we try to over-deliver on everything that we do, so that when these things roll out, it's a surprise, right? I think the AR comic book reader is probably an example of that, right? Like,
I'm still not over it. I can't. It's amazing.
Yeah. So when you knock things like that out, you know, and that's how we try to overcome that, right? We just deliver on the things we say we're going to, and then if people want to stay around, cool. You know, there's enough of us and enough people here that are here for the right reasons. I mean, you're the guys we're building for, you know, and everybody else, like, yeah, cool. They can come for the ride, or they can go annoy somebody else.
Hashtag. I interrupted you. Your question, Sarah.
That's all right. Thank you. I was just going to say, following on from those questions, Reese, we're all going to jump into the DeLorean. You're going to drive. I hope you're a good driver. We're all sitting in the back nervous. You're going to take us to 2026, so 5 years from now. What are your proudest moments over the last 5 years with the company?
My proudest moments.
Good one.
Like Grace is like, don't leak anything. Don't leak.
If I get one good night's sleep in the next 5 years.
Love it.
Proud moment.
To be honest, a couple of those moments have happened, right? Getting this app out has happened. Having, for me personally, the awareness of the Omi token build and you know, really cement our place in the crypto ecosystem is a very proud moment for me, because that's always been more of my focus. The VeVeverse, obviously, when that launches, I think that will be huge. I think the first event we run in the VeVeverse, I'll be very happy with and proud of. Like, I obviously will run streams and things like this all the time, but if we get to a point of running a wholly virtual concert or a gig or something like that, I think that would be quite monumental for me as a point.
That's really important, right? Live event sort of thing. That is what we're seeing. And I think it's going to be different now that COVID has, you know, COVID really, I think, accelerated and catalyzed live events, you know, probably last year to this year as well. Obviously, it's not completely over, whatever. But, you know, more and more people back last year were obviously inside, right? A lot of people were. And so live events, when it came to Fortnite, Roblox, etc., they broke records, right? Many people, many users taking part. But I think when VeVe does it, it's going to be really exciting too, because they have the licenses with brands. I think what's going to be important, of course, is what the content team is able to manage, because I don't know how large the content team is. It might be quite large now. I don't know what the hiring looks like and what the team numbers look like, if I'm honest. So I don't know what the resources are, but when we've looked at other live events, even I suppose with Decentraland, they had a Coca-Cola live event maybe like a month or two ago. That could really be groundbreaking. It needs to be done smart. I think it would be awesome if they could do this, a live event that ties in with a brand hype. What do I mean by that? Well, let's talk about, for example, Star Trek, or if we talk about Disney films, whatever. When they have a release, it would be cool if we had, like in the VeVeverse, an event tied to a film release or tied to a an event of some sort. I think that would also build consistently more viewers, but also more users. So it would be really awesome to see.
Kind of hard to say beyond that, because I don't know what direction we're going, right? Like that the VeVeverse will build out on its own, and you know, under the direction of what people want and the features that we have in mind. So that
said, 15 minutes long. I want to end it here because I got to get on with some other stuff. But thank you again, of course, to Wendy for posting this and everyone here for taking part in this conversation. I'm very grateful that we're able to look at these and sort of take our own, or put our own takes on them and sort of have a look at what we can see here. And of course, very exciting to see what's happening with Ecomi Omi migration for the token. Very exciting indeed. Of course, this... Okay, well... Here we go then. We're in the 6s. Let's go. Quite a large range already, actually. 5-1 and 6-2. That's pretty... Oh, okay. Either way, we're not going to get caught up in it. Either way, I hope this video was interesting and helpful too. If it was, like, also appreciated. Make sure to subscribe to this channel if you're new. I'm going to be continuing to post more Ecomi VeVe NFT videos very, very soon. That being said, make sure to follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is twitter.com/ZakiZoo. You can find me posting about Ecomi, VeVe, and everything else going on there. With that being said, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.